Yes, no Supercross championship comes easy no matter what happens to your competition. As always, these race review videos brought to you by our buds at Troy Lee Designs. Well, the theme of most of this Monster Energy Supercross season was that Jason Anderson had it fairly easy. A lot of riders got hurt early and he was racking up consistent finishes and a big points lead. Well, you have to respect this championship because it's going to throw some curveballs at you at some point, and it did at the worst possible time. So there's about 3 things that Anderson needed to not have happen to rip this championship away from him, and 2 of the 3 happened in the course of 6 days. First, the broken wheel last week at Salt Lake City, but luckily he still had a decent points lead. He just had to avoid getting hurt or ill before the finale here in Las Vegas. And how about that? Last night he comes down with food poisoning. He said he was throwing up all night. It had to feel like fate was conspiring against him and preventing him from winning this title. Considering that, and with the pressure that was on his shoulders, a 5th place finish in the main event was impressive, and it took away most of the drama that should have come with having to ride under those circumstances. How bad was it? You have to figure Anderson was absolutely in the mood to go party and celebrate, but midway through the post-race press conference, first he yells for a sweatshirt because he said he's cold. Then he starts shivering uncontrollably. Then he turns pale, and then he says, "I'm not feeling good," and then he runs away. So your Supercross champion for 2018 is now celebrating while throwing up. Anderson did, when he was feeling good and was still in the press conference, explain he had a full focus this year. He was really focused on winning this championship, and that would seem obvious. You don't win this title without hard work, but when you see how Anderson conducts himself, it doesn't seem like he's a locked down, buckle down kind of guy. And he spent more time in California this year because he said that was more fun for him. That's not the typical thing that usually someone mentions when they're winning a Supercross championship, but I've got to think that Anderson is sometimes a little more serious, I think smarter, more calculated than he lets on. He puts the carefree persona out there, and I think that probably helps him stay relaxed on race day when the pressure's on. But there's no doubt that he puts a lot more heart, soul, and thought into winning than you would think from a guy who said how excited he was to go to the post-race celebration party until he realized he's probably too sick to be able to do that. So I guess that means Jason Anderson's going to be throwing up Sunday morning in Vegas with the championship, just not in the way anyone expected. Meanwhile, in the race, Eli Tomac and Marvin Musquin put on another good show. Tomac got the jump on him off the start. Marvin put pressure on the entire time. Wasn't able to break Tomac into a mistake. Tomac had a really sick line, jumping, not even a jump. There was nothing in the sand. I don't even know what he jumped off of to get over this big single jump. He was really slick getting through lap traffic and went on to take his 8th win of the year. That's 2 years in a row where Tomac won the most races in the championship but doesn't end up as the champion. Doesn't feel quite as sick as Anderson, but that probably doesn't make him feel great. Musquin, a great run for 2nd, and Blake Baggett up on the podium in 3rd. 250 class, yeah, there was a chance of drama with championships on the line in 2 divisions, but big points lead for Zach Osborne and Aaron Plessinger coming in. They handled their business. They avoided the problems. They went on to take their championships respectively in 250 East and West. And Adam Cianciarulo takes the win in the race, battling ahead of the Troy Lee Designs teammates, Jordan Smith and Shane McElrath, who finished 2nd and 3rd. The 2 guys that had the best mathematical chance at taking the championships away, that would be Cianciarulo and Smith. They did finish 1-2 in the race. They tried. They couldn't get it done in the end. Plessinger and Osborne are your champions in the 250 class. That's a wrap on Supercross this year. You can see they're even tearing things down here in Vegas. Ended up being a dramatic season. Just ask Jason Anderson. Certainly wasn't as easy as it looked on paper. Thanks for watching, and of course, thanks to Troy Lee Designs for hooking us up with some backing for these videos.